I've had the chips on paper towel so they'll dry out just a little bit. And now what I'm doing is I'm placing my chips in a single layer on a cookie sheet. Now I take time to actually put the chips individually next to each other so I can put a little cheese and a jalapeno on each chip. Now some people just take the chips and pile them on, spread them around, and pile on the cheese and the jalapenos. That's okay too, but I just kind of like to do it neatly. I guess that's just the way I am. Anyway, now one thing that we have found with our cheese, David went ahead and he put a question out to his Twitter group and his Facebook group on which cheese is the best cheese to use. We tried all kinds of cheese, from sharp cheddar to Longhorn. We found out that Longhorn really isn't the style of cheese, it's the way the cheese is cut. We went to Central Market and asked the cheese experts what the best nacho cheese is. Now we've heard everything from Velveeta. Now if you like Velveeta, that's great. It does melt, but it doesn't have that Mexican food restaurant nacho taste to it. So anyway, the response came back: Colby style Longhorn, mild cheddar. The experts at Central Market said Chihuahua cheese. This is cheese, it's not the Chihuahua puppy cheese. It is cheese actually made in Chihuahua, Mexico. And it's actually this white cheese. Now, what I've done is I've used a mixture, since we don't have a Central Market close to us, and we eat nachos quite frequently. I've made a mixture of Chihuahua cheese and mild Colby cheese. And I shredded it and mixed it. So now all you do is you go ahead and you put cheese on each of your chips. And this is where, since I have them in a single layer, I like to make sure that each chip gets some of its own personal cheese. And when this melts, it is so good. Now, we've also been in search for the perfect jalapeno. We have used all the different kinds of jalapenos, and some of them are too sweet, some of them are mushy after you broil them, and others are too vinegary. We have found Mission jalapenos, and these are the best. They just turn out really, really tasty. And what I do is I actually take a jalapeno and put one jalapeno per each of my chips. Now this takes some time to do, but when you see how these chips turn out, you're going to understand taking a little extra time is well worth it. Now, the next thing I do is I go ahead and broil them on the high broil, not on the low broil, but on high. It melts the cheese very quickly and it heats up the nachos, but it doesn't mush out the chip. I have baked them at 350 degrees before and slowly melted the cheese, and I found out that what happens is the chip actually gets a little bit soggy. Now, by using your own homemade corn tortilla chips, these stay really nice and crunchy. You can use bagged chips if you'd like. I found that south of the border chips, they're larger and they work really well. I also used to always use the round tortilla chip just because they were pretty and they sat there all nice and neat. So if you were having company over, you kind of wanted them to be a little bit more special. But if you try your different nacho chips, your different tortilla chips, because some of them will get soggy. But if you broil them on high, it helps keep them really nice and crisp.